everyone, it's Norma. Randy will be along in a little bit. We're going to share with you the last leg of our Iceland journey, which took us from Eaglestafnir in the East Fjords down back to Reykjavik again. And of course we had to stop at Vatnajökull National Park, and here we are on Glacier Bay. Here we came around the corner where you can actually look around. We're going to see the actual glacier in a minute. And yeah, there she is. Unreal. And of course, Glacier Bay is a tourist spot, so tourist spots are not complete without a duck boat. We didn't make it out on this glacier lagoon. We went to the next one, but I highly recommend that experience, that's for sure.
It actually looks darker in real life than it does on the screen.
I got my glasses on, they're tinted.
Yeah, but it's really black, and then I guess the camera lightens it up a little bit. It's black, black, black.
We're on the Diamond Beach now. There's the opening of the Glacier Bay here, and you can see the water is just rushing by. It's summer melt for sure. You can hear it just flowing, and you can see it moving. And of course we've got all the tourists, which is okay. This was one of those places that we could have stayed all day. The different types of ice was fascinating. It was so beautiful with the black sand and the beautiful ice everywhere. The photo ops were endless. But we had tickets to go on a Zodiac tour on the next glacier lagoon, so we had to get moving. Stay still, I'm just hanging on to you. Our next destination was Reynisfjörðina Black Sand Beach, and it was stunningly beautiful with the columns in the ocean, the basalt cliffs, the cave, the black sand, and it is a must-see as well when you're in Iceland, but you have to be careful. It's a very dangerous beach. There are rogue waves that come out and can wash you out to sea, and in fact, a week before we were there, a man sadly lost his life right in this area. Fortunately for us, the tide was out, the sea was very, very calm, and we had a lovely visit there. Did you notice that my rock tower had a slight Inukshuk vibe going on?
Well, I'll start off with I got a couple of birds. These guys love to hang around and fly over you and make you chase them, and I guess that's the way the game goes. This is just a small example of the beauty of this country. I mean, it's one of these things where they say, you know, you have to be there to really appreciate it. I mean, and it's exactly what it's like. You see the three white cars, there's 3 rooms and there's 3 cars, and you can see that part right there. That's where we're staying in 202, the middle one. This it's incredible. There's no place like it. We've seen so many fantastic things in our 3 weeks that you know, it's really awe-inspiring, I can tell you.
Randy heading down underneath the cutouts in the waterfall. Here we are over here.
This is pretty darn cool. Got here good and early, so there aren't many tourists. Just asking about half a dozen other people. Iceland spot for 20 years. Very good. Kind of balance that we could show that he still got it.
Okay, this is a video on how to get to the lookout. Oh yeah. Not gonna zoom in. Too close. Okay, this is where we came from. Should have got it from the beginning. However, oh, I got it. Look at that. We're never going to forget this walk. My God.
There's Randy at the chair of recovery. I was at the bottom of the hill. He made it all in one piece. As did I, your videographer.
The pain. The pain.
We did a little bit of backtracking on this trip. We decided to go to Seljalandsfoss first and then head back to the Skogar area. And we went to the Skogar Museum, the folk museum there, and it was fascinating. They had the outdoor section with the houses. They had the indoor section with a really good cross-section of history and art and even this wonderful boat.
Okay, we're just going to call this the goat place. We did manage to see goats around supper time there yesterday. As you can see, the door's open, but I think the goats have split. However, this is an incredibly beautiful place, which we've enjoyed these guest houses with all this acreage around. There's something about acreage. You know, we can look in any direction and you just see land and space. And it has its own feel. Yeah. This is definitely one of the big things that are right up there with the icebergs and the water and the sand and the mountains and glaciers. I mean, which wasn't expected. I have very much enjoyed this.
A trip to Iceland is not complete without a trip into the lava caves. And it was stunning and beautiful, and the colors were amazing. And it was one of the highlights of our trip for sure.
Okay, I'm going to say it again because I just turned it on.
This is Randy's happy place.
We all know that.
You can go down a dock here or a wharf, and nobody, you can see there's nobody around. There's all these beautiful ships.
Our last days were spent on the Reykjanes Peninsula. We had a good drive around the outside and saw lighthouses. We saw beaches and spent some time there. We were lucky with the weather, of course. Randy always finds a place to have a good nap. Man down. This wonderful church was something that we came across as well.
The end of the Reykjanes Peninsula. Island out in the distance. It's significant. I can't remember right now, but I can tell you later. That was Randy yawning. He just had a very satisfying nap in the car.
No such thing as a bad nap. Okay, I'm not exactly sure again where the hell we are exactly, but I'm going to zoom in over in front of me there. Those white blotches, above that white blotch is a seagull's nest. And they all eating the same thing, I can tell you that.
That island in the distance I was telling you about is called LD Island, and that's where the last pair of great auks were killed, thereby making them extinct. We never really got tired of looking at the geothermal areas and the geothermal action that was happening on the island. Here's another area on the Reykjanes Peninsula that you can go to see that has all the natural vents coming up. All that steam really does smell like sulfur, so be prepared for that.
I thought I was filming all this time and it didn't even go.
No.
I can't see
You
dick
can hear
shit.
me, but you can't see
There you
me.
are, there you are. Okay. And as you pan around, you can see the big wall coming up. That is one of the plates. The other one is right. Get my hand in there. Right here. There's the one plate there, one plate there. Now, when you get down here, from where I'm trying to look at, you'll see the two plates up there. This side. Of course, there's that gal that's always in every photo, every video.
And of course, we weren't done with Reykjavik yet. There's so many beautiful things to see, and we went to the Punk Museum, which was delightful. We saw natural beauty when we were there, and we also really enjoyed a lot of the murals and art that we saw when we were in Reykjavik. And far too soon, it was time to fly home. We spent our last morning in the Keflavik area, looking at the art, looking around at the ocean, having a wonderful little visit. And that was our trip to Iceland. Hope you enjoyed it, because we sure did. We think if we can do it, you can do it too.